Hello everybody, 'tis I, the Rumpled One, Thursday, December 27, the year 2012. Well, we made it through Christmas, and I was well fed. I have to say thank you. One friend invited me over for breakfast, another for lunch, and another for dinner. I was well fed, so thank you to all my friends who thought enough of me to include me in your Thanksgiving, in your Christmas festivities. I appreciate it. Now, I titled the video, What Matters? Resolutions, or something like that. It's near the end of the year and time when people start thinking about New Year's resolutions. And I, for one, don't do resolutions. I like to think how I want the next year to be different from the current year. And that's what I look to do. But I think there's something else that's kind of interesting. I was reading this AARP magazine. Yeah, see, after you go around the sun 50 plus times, you get to be a member. And it was about this woman who has stage 4 cancer, and they said she outfought and outsmarted. She beats the odds. She should have been dead 5 years ago. But as I read this, I thought it was kind of interesting, because when she found out, she then changed how she was living her life. And it made me ponder about that topic, what matters. And it seems to me that it's very interesting that sometimes it takes something that's truly life-threatening for people to all of a sudden wake up and make changes. I mean, there's enough empirical evidence around that we should know that tomorrow's not guaranteed, so you better make the best of today. And next year's not guaranteed, so you better make the best of this year. So why don't people live their lives like that in the first place? I just find that very, very interesting. I mean, we're talking about smart people here. You know, successful people, but then all of a sudden, the doctor says you only have 5 months to live, or 3 months to live, or a year to live, and then they realize they're not doing what they really want to be doing. It's almost like they were caught up. They were sleepwalking through life, and that was their wake-up call. That now, hey, they look at the calendar, they look at the clock, and they say, I better make the best of it, but isn't that the way we should be living every day? Making the best of it? You know, I might not be around next week. Anything could happen. So why would I not live my life today as if I've been given that short notice? And then what if, like in this woman's case, she was given a short notice and she's still around 5 years later? So if she made these changes and she's lived past that deadline, that expiration date, and she's still living, then had she not been given that expiration date, she wouldn't have made those changes. I find that interesting. And people work and toil and do all these things, but just to get by in life, when that's not really what they want to do. A lot of people say they like to travel. Most of them don't even own a passport. Of course, times are tough. People are lucky just to have a job, roof over their head, food on the table. But once you get past that point, or even if you're still at that point, why aren't you living life as if you have an expiration date? Because we all do, we just don't know what it is. But when that doctor says you've got 5 months to live, all of a sudden there's this wake-up call and you make all these adjustments. Just make them now, today. Maybe live next year as if it's your last, because it just might be. That's one of the things I learned playing sports and playing music. That last game or that last performance, that might be your last. So you better give it your best shot, because you don't want to be remembered as, oh man, he wasn't that good of a player. He didn't really perform that well. You want to go out and be known as, man, he gave it everything he had. Look at how he was sweating. Oh man, he really put himself into it. He was spent when it was over. And I'm not talking about you go out and do crazy things, but there's some things you probably want to do that you just haven't done just because you just haven't done it. You haven't made it important. Well, maybe for 2013, you'll make those things important and do them. I'd like to know what you have to say on this. I find this topic, what matters, it's very interesting. In fact, I was talking to a friend and I posed that question, if you were blind, what matters change? And it kind of blew them away. It's like, wow. It really made them stop and think. Looks like Cat 1 wants to check out the article. I didn't know you could read. Well, hopefully you'll get to see this before the new year. Because I was thinking that, see, every time I make a video, it might be the last one. And you might not even get to see the last one because I might not live to upload it. So I guess I might need to up my game, make videos a lot better. No, I haven't, the doctor hasn't told me anything. And oh, and by the way, this finger, see, it's really not as bad as this makes it look, but this is just to protect it from getting bumped and to keep it dry. So let me know if you're going to make a New Year's resolution. You can share it if you like. Maybe you might think of the way I do things and think how I want next year to be different than this year. And I guess I'll just keep thinking about what matters, and when I come up with something new, I'll share it with you.